Hello, welcome back to the HCCTV Student Lounge, the show done by HCC students for HCC students to give you opinions in news, entertainment, and what's going on in our school. So today, we're going to be talking about chocolate, and I'm really excited because I love chocolate. So how are you today, Carolina?
Hi, Kyle. I also love chocolate, and whoever doesn't love chocolate, please give it to me. Today, we're also joined today by Benjamin, Francisco, Josh, Diego, and Eric. And today's Diego's last show, so we want to thank you for all your effort, and you've done a wonderful job with us. We'll also be joined by our guest, Janie Williams, who is here to talk about Tejas Chocolate and Barbecue. But first, let's move into our top 3 news of the week. Now, first, please join us in our Lunch and Learn. It's a counseling series hosted by Coleman Student Life and Student Government Association. It will be with speaker Brandy Lerman, and it's called Self-Care. Be your own partner. And that's going to be happening today, February 11, from 1 to 2 p.m. Kyle, have you ever been to one of those virtual Lunch and Learns from HCC?
No, I haven't been, but maybe that's what the opportunity that I was seeking for. It's interesting. Talk about yourself, right? It's like self-improvement. So that can be a good topic.
Yes, and it's a great speaker. Now, we will also be hosting another WebEx Student Live event. And since this is Dating Violence and Awareness Month, now we encourage you to join Student Live on WebEx for an inspiring Q&A discussion with life coach Stephanie McKenzie. And it's called Healthy Relationships. Now, Stephanie came to coaching, building an award-winning marketing agency, working with celebrity clients such as Debbie Allen, Shaquille O'Neal, and the nationally syndicated Tom Joyner Morning Show, to name a few. With 30 years of entrepreneurial experience, the one thing she has learned and will be sharing is how healing is the key to loving ourselves. This is hosted by Office of the Student Life District, and it's happening also today, February 11th, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Now we have to attend one of those because it's going to be happening at the same time. So which one are you going to attend, Kyle?
I think in the first one, it's gonna be interesting for me because I'm still kind of trying to figure out things, and I always like to reflect about myself. So I think that one's gonna be interesting for me.
Yeah, especially now that it's Valentine's Day is coming up soon. It's not only about a loved one as a partner, but only loving ourselves and loving our loved ones. So it's our family, our friends, and so on. Now, we also have an event on the Discovery Green, and it's called Love is at Discovery Green. This Valentine's weekend, do something different with the ones you love for the park you love. And this is happening in the Jean Dines the House, Heart, in Discovery Green's Macondas Grove. And you're gonna see it with a big heart. It's like a sculpture. And it's happening from Friday, February 12th at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, February 13th from 11 to 2 p.m. and Sunday, February 14th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And you can contribute with a $15 donation. Your Love is reservation includes a printed commemorative photo by an artist, a personalized Valentine poem, and a discount for the Grove Restaurant's Valentine's dessert. So there are so many events going on, especially in Discovery Green. I've seen that they also have yoga and stuff like that outdoors. Since there's nothing that they can do inside, why not check it out? It's outdoors and it's completely free for those Sunday and Saturday events going on. So I highly encourage you, Kaya, to go there.
I actually really like Discovery Green. So it's a really cute park. It's fun because it's literally in the middle of the city. So yeah, I might consider that.
Yeah, they have dancing classes as well, and I've heard you like dancing, right?
Yeah, I love it. Mm-hmm.
Now let's begin our first topic, which makes way to a great discussion. So, is chocolate the love drug? Well, let's hear first from Benjamin. What is the history of Valentine's Day?
So, how you doing, guys? So I did my little research this time, and there is a lot of debate on where the Valentine's Day kind of started. There's a lot of stories out there, but the one that was more TV friendly for me was this one. So a long time ago in the year 270, that's right, 270, the Roman Empire had an emperor called Claudius II. Claudius set a law that didn't allow Roman soldiers to get married, as this was considered weak. But Bishop Valentine wouldn't allow this. In his church, he would secretly marry soldiers and their spouses. But eventually, Emperor Claudius found out about what the Bishop Valentine was doing behind their back. So he sentenced him to death. While in jail, Bishop Valentine became really close to one of the jail guard's daughters. This girl was blind, but one day Bishop Valentine reached for her eyes and cured her. They both fell in love. Unfortunately, Bishop Valentine was set to be executed on the 14th of February. It was on this day that Bishop Valentine wrote his last letter to his love and signed it, "From your Valentine." From then on, later on, like in the year 496 AD, Pope Gelasius I made February 14th St. Valentine's Day. So this is kind of like one of those stories that came out, basically people looked up and how it worked around, but it's a beautiful story. So I guess that's one of the stories you can look up. The other ones are kind of like crazy stuff, but you know, it's free to your imagination. But along with that, I mean, you know, we were talking about chocolate and stuff, but I feel like one of the gifts that for chocolate related, I like chocolate covered strawberries. I don't know if y'all ever had those. I feel like it's a little sweet snack, but also being like health conscious because you're eating your vegetables, sorry, fruits. Yeah, I'm gonna do some carrot covered chocolate or something. But yeah, chocolate covered strawberries are my favorite dessert for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I actually love those two. For some reason, I think it's like the mixture of the sour of the strawberries with the chocolate. They make a really good combination. I think that's one of my favorite types of fruits with chocolate. And I also like la lechera, you know, like I don't know how to say, we call it leche condensado. It's like condensed milk. That's how you call it. With strawberries, pretty good too, and other fruits. It's kind of fatty, but it's good. And so I want to talk about Valentine's. Since I also mentioned Brazil already. It's funny because in Brazil, we don't usually celebrate Valentine's Day at Valentine's Day. We do have what we call Dia dos Namorados. It's like girlfriends and boyfriends day. And it's actually June 12th. And in Brazil, we never even know what was like Valentine's. We now know because of social media and see people posting stuff from the USA. So now we kind of know like what's going on. But before in Brazil, we didn't even know what it means. So I think it's pretty interesting to be here now and see how it makes part of the culture. And I think what is interesting too, because it doesn't mean that it's just for your girlfriend or your boyfriend, it's for your loved ones. So if you want to send, you know, for your best friend, you send like a chocolate or a card. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't think we have like a day like that in Brazil. So that's pretty cool.
Actually, since you're talking about that, in Colombia, we don't have Valentine's Day either. We have something that's called Love and Friendship Day, Día del Amor y la Amistad, and that happens in September. I don't know exactly the day. I think it's around September 11th. So it's similar. It's very similar. And we also kind of celebrate Valentine's Day because of the movies. And in the schools, they have like all sorts of events, and you can give like secret notes and chocolates to friends, and it's so cool. But yeah, now that you bring up that, it also happens that in Colombia. But now we already heard the Valentine's Day story. What's the history of chocolate, Diego?
Well, the history of chocolate's actually pretty interesting because the Aztecs used to worship it. They called it the food of the gods, actually, but not because it tasted good, because it was actually really bitter. You know, interesting. You know, pure unrefined, you know, chocolate, or I guess they call it cacao. You know, it's like this fruit comes in. It's really bitter. It has a whole bunch of effects, and it's good for you. It has a lot of minerals and stuff, but it also has it produces serotonin, which is like the feel good hormone. You know, it makes you really feel happy, you know, good, and also has a whole bunch of other properties. It would give you a lot of energy, and the Aztecs used to use it to, like, you know, go on long runs and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty interesting. Yeah, try it out, see see if you like it.
Well, I think that it does make you feel a lot better when you have a breakup or else that. So I really think it's the love drug. But let's hear from Eric at the fitness side of the dark chocolate.
Yes, I'm a big fitness nut, and staying in shape is very important to me, whether it's working out or any type of activity outside. But the health benefits of dark chocolate are very interesting. It's actually very nutritious. And also it reduces heart disease and lowers blood pressure. So it's good for people who are over the ages of 60 or people even my age. So there are a lot of benefits, even enhances brain function in some respects. So there are a lot of benefits to dark chocolate. You know, it's not all about just having rotten tea for, you know, so those are kind of the ideas I want to go into whenever I'm going to do a workout or I'm going to eat candy at the same time. If I'm going to eat any kind of candy, I'll probably eat dark chocolate. That's just the way I look at things.
Good. We've heard about dark chocolate. Now, what about white chocolate, Josh?
Well, my definition of white chocolate is a bit different from dark chocolate. White chocolate was my nickname back in my prime, aka second grade. And, you know, back in Valentine's Day around that time, we would go around to everyone in the classroom's desk and you would hand them little chocolates, little love notes or whatever. It was just something everyone was required to do. So if you don't mind, I'm going to tell a little story here about a very traumatizing experience I had. For everyone else's safety, I'll just use fake names. So this is Linda, okay? Linda, she's another student in my class. Let me tell you, best looking girl in second grade. Then there's me, Casanova, little white chocolate right here. And I want to show that Linda's my Valentine. I slipped 2 pieces of chocolate in her bag, but then Jeffrey over here. Jeffrey's like, oh, excuse me, miss, Josh gave Linda 2 pieces of chocolate. That means he likes her. So Jeffrey, it's been it's been almost 15 years. Still not over it. I haven't had a good Valentine's because of you. I was embarrassed. Jeffrey, I hope you have a good Valentine's Day.
Well, alias Jeffrey, yeah, that's not so good. I've heard so many mean things from little kids. I hope this doesn't continue going on with bullying and stuff like that. But yeah, I remember in high school, we used to give those chocolates, but it was sort of a good thing. I hope you get over that soon, Josh.
It's been 15 years. I don't know if I will.
Oh, Jeffrey. Now let's move on into our special guest. Who do you have for today, Kyle?
So before I move on to her, I just think that we should probably have a segment where we have Josh telling stories because that was fabulous. So
I know.
I'm here every week. Just give me the word.
Oh my God. All right, so now let's move to a guest. So today we have Janie Williams. She's the head chocolatier at Tejas Chocolate and Barbecue. So how are you today?
I'm great. How are y'all doing?
We're doing fantastic and really excited to be talking about chocolate. So first of all, tell me a little bit about you.
So I started with the company about 5 years ago, and I had started out working the front counter and kind of making coffee. And business was starting to pick up with our truffles that we make, as well as the bars. And so the owners needed a little bit of help, and they kind of pulled me in and started teaching me a little bit. And I just kind of fell in love with the process. I also, a few years ago, took an online class. So I have a professional chocolatiering certificate. So what we do is we actually are bean to bar makers. So we import cacao beans from countries like Madagascar, Dominican Republic, Belize, and we go through the entire chocolate making process on site here. And we'll either turn that chocolate into chocolate truffles or our chocolate bars. So that's pretty much what we do here.
Very nice. So one thing that I wanted you to answer, what is a chocolatier? Because I don't think I've heard this expression before.
So a chocolatier is someone who takes chocolate that has already been made and makes delicious things and treats out of it. So truffles, different kinds of confections, which are like candies that are dipped in chocolate, or chocolate decorations, or things like that. And so that's what we do here. And then we also are chocolate makers as well. So most places you either have one or the other, but we do both.
Okay. So this is more than just mix ingredients, right? It has an art behind it because you need to have, like, as you said, a decoration, and you got to make it look pretty. So how important is that?
Well, there's that old saying, you eat with your eyes first. So when you can make something beautiful and kind of intriguing for someone to be like, oh, what is that? And what's that flavor? It's really important to the overall look of the truffle, as well as the bar, packaging, marketing, things like that. But when we think about our truffles and the flavor profile, we really like to think of what would be something kind of exciting or intriguing to either put it on top or roll it in a specific sugar or cocoa powder, color palettes, different things like that. So it's, you're taking your flavor and you're rolling all of that into the actual look of it. So it's also somewhat of an art form.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen. I got a chance to look at y'all's website, and it looks fantastic. It does look pretty. And I think, again, as you said, you eat with the eyes first, and especially chocolate. You just look at those beautiful things. Sometimes I feel bad though, because I've seen some really nice chocolate, and I feel like, oh my god, it looks so pretty. I don't want to eat that. So
Right. That's what a lot of people say. They're like, oh, like our champagne and strawberry truffle is it almost has like a gold foil on the top. We have like a shimmery edible glitter, and people are like, oh, it's so pretty, I don't want to eat it. And I'm like, please eat it, please.
there you go. So I wanted to ask you one thing before, because I also wanted to show around, but before we move to that, can you please tell me, because you guys, I think, found a perfect combination. You guys serve chocolate and barbecue. I think those are the two favorite things in the world. So how did you even come up with this idea?
So the owners actually started making chocolate back in 2011. And they were selling it at farmers markets. And we also had some of the chocolate in like central markets and spec stores. And they really wanted to open up a retail spot. So they found this little house in Tomball, but they also figured that, well, we should have some other sort of revenue to bring in, because chocolate is very much a seasonal sale item. So like we do most of our sales around holidays like Christmas or Valentine's or Halloween, and we do pretty good sales year round, but those are like the big three. And Scott and Michelle have been doing like kind of backyard barbecue for a long time. So that's how they decided to add that into the business. And we got a barbecue pit and put it outside, and everything kind of took off after that.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I think that's a great combination. Chocolate and barbecue, they're just like fantastic. I love barbecue and I love chocolate. So that's pretty cool. So now I think is the most exciting time. We want to take a look on the kitchen, or I don't even know. Do you call it kitchen or you call it a different name because it's chocolate?
We call it our chocolate room. It's kind of a kitchen. So most of the stuff is what we do has we start off with our raw chocolate, which I can show you over here. Walk around. So after we make the chocolate in our melanger, which is a stone grinder that breaks down all of the cocoa beans, cocoa butter, and sugar, we put it into these large blocks right here. So we have all of these blocks of chocolate that are ready to get melted down and turned into delicious things. After the bars are made, we'll chop it up, and it kind of looks like this right here. Out of there. So this is going to be our raw chocolate. This is untempered chocolate. So this still needs to go through a process of melting and cooling. And then after that point, it goes into a machine, which is kind of like a waterfall machine, if anyone's familiar with the Willy Wonka movie. But we put it in this machine right here, and it spins and cools and heats the chocolate to specific temperatures so that when it's ready to use, it has a beautiful, nice, snappy, glossy texture. And we actually have one of our other chocolatiers, Samantha, right here. She's dipping some truffles. So this is our Bananas Foster's truffle. So this is a dark chocolate that has bananas and rum and brown sugar, and it gets dipped in chocolate, and it gets a little banana chip on top of it right there. And then we also have another machine right here, which makes all of our bars. She's resting right now. She's taking a little nap. And then we've got our completed truffles over here. So we've got some confections that are topped with almonds. We have a milk chocolate truffle that's rolled in cinnamon sugar. We have our mint truffle, which is our grasshoppers. So those are dipped, and then we color white chocolate and drizzle that on top. Let's see what else. We have a bacon truffle right here. We also have a beer truffle and a lavender truffle. So that's kind of the process that we go through. To make the truffles, we take our raw chocolate, and then it gets melted down, and it's either emulsified with different liqueurs and cream and different flavors, and then it sets up, and we scoop it and roll it into these little naked truffle balls right here. And then after that point, they get dipped and decorated and then go into the display case to get sold.
Wow. I never thought there was so much involved to producing like such a beautiful work. I mean, it makes sense, but this is pretty cool. So I was thinking here, a lot of people, they get really excited because of Valentine's Day. It's now love time, but look at those chocolates. Now I can understand even better why do they give to each other, right? But what's your point of view when it comes to Valentine's Day? Why do you think it's like a seasonal thing?
Well, chocolate's kind of, an aphrodisiac, makes you feel, lovey-dovey and romantic. And it's just one of those things that it's a really good gift, especially with a handcrafted chocolate that has so much time and attention put into the final product, that you can give it to a loved one to say, like, I love you so much that I didn't just get you Russell Stover's or Hershey's. I got you a handmade piece of chocolate, which takes a lot of love, and that's how much I love you.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're showing the process how you make, and I know it's fresh. So like, how long do you guys keep it in there? For example, how not at the expiration date, but in order to be like fresh and tasteful, like how long you guys usually keep? For example, you guys start making for Valentine's Day already. All this is for Valentine's, or you guys.
So that's just our normal production. We actually just started working on our Valentine's Day flavors. Our truffles will keep fresh for about 2 weeks, but the raw chocolate itself, as long as it's kept in an airtight container wrapped up, we let the chocolate age for up to 3 years. It's kind of like wine. So it doesn't necessarily go bad. It just develops a deeper flavor. So depending on the different origin that we have, like the Dominican Republic or Madagascar, those different tasting profiles, the longer you age the chocolate, lets those develop more. So like our Madagascar chocolate has a lot of citrusy and fruity notes to it. And when it first comes out and it's made and it's super fresh, it almost has an acidic taste to it. But if you let that age for a while, that acidic flavor goes away, and you are able to taste more of the fruits and like the lemon and the orange, and like red currant is another tasty note in that specific one, as well as like our Dominican has a really fudgy taste to it. So you let that age for a while and it becomes just even more of a deeper, richer, classic chocolate flavor that you're used to having in a dark chocolate.
That's very interesting, and I came up with this image in my head because I've seen people like enjoy wine, for example. Now I'm imagining people like with the chocolate saying, "Oh, I can feel the notes of it, like all fancy," and that's interesting. I never thought about chocolate this way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one last question I want to ask you: since you work with that, how do you keep yourself to not eat everything, or you've been eating so much chocolate that you're tired of it?
No, never get tired of chocolate. We actually, we have to taste everything as we make it throughout the day. So we do get to eat chocolate for most of the day. And we all have our favorites that are go-to truffles or chocolate bars that we eat. My personal favorite is our Bolivia chocolate. And then, you crave it, but also it's one of those things that like when I go home, I'm like, oh, I've had so much, like I'm probably just going to eat some ice cream.
Yeah, understandable. So, well, this was a really exciting show. I love talking to you. Now I got really, really hungry. I'm considering again just leaving here, ending the show, and go eat some chocolate because that was amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
So, what's going on now, Carolina?
Well, let's move on. Kyle, what shows are out that you want to talk to us about?
So today I want to talk about a show that I'm actually proud of it, and it was produced by HCC with the film department. So it's called Be Mine, and it's a web series. So it's 6 webisode, and they are on EduTube. I can never say this word, but you can just go there and type Be Mine, and you're probably gonna be able to find on the first topic. So let me just talk a little bit about this show. So the show, it's about this guy, Carl, which he has some rhyme problems, and he's in love with this girl. So that's why it's kind of Valentine's, you know? And, well, I don't want to give you too much spoiler, because if I start talking, I know I'm going to give some stuff away. But since you can see the trailer, you know, go check it out.
I want to recommend a strange movie. It's a bit of a romance and supernatural. It's called Red Riding Hood. It came out in 2011. It surrounds Red Riding Hood being the main character in a love triangle with a man that she was arranged by marriage from birth and her childhood sweetheart. So the movie's kind of a triangle between the 3 of them, who's just going to choose to be with in the days leading up to Valentine's Day. But on the offhand side, it's also dealing with, there's also a werewolf that's terrorizing her village. And the identity of this werewolf is actually quite a mystery, but it's a big shock. It's actually the person that's most closest to her is giving her advice who to be with. So there's a lot of twists and turns with this terror yet romance, all leading up to Valentine's Day. So again, it's called Red Riding Hood. It came out in 2011. See it.
Hey guys, I'd like to recommend an anime show called Tonikawa. It's about a guy who he sees a really pretty girl on the other side of the street, so he decides to call out to her and walk over across the street to like try to talk to her. But as he's doing that, he gets hit by a truck, which happens a lot in anime. Fortunately, he doesn't die because she like hears him and sees what's going on and like manages to like push him kind of out of the way. But he still gets hit, and as he's bleeding out on the floor, he tries to ask the girl out, and she says that she'll go out with him only if he agrees to marry her. And so he goes to the hospital, passes out, whatever. Then 2 years later, she comes back and she's like, "Hey, you want to get married still?" And he's like, "Yeah." So then they get married, and that's how the first episode ends. And then the rest of them are about them kind of getting to know each other and how marriage works and stuff. So it's a really cute show, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah. So stay on the topic of chocolate, I do want to recommend the classic Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original one with Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka. So this is a classic movie. You know, kids always have the imagination of like, we know what happens up in candy like factories and stuff like that. So in this movie, a kid named Charlie, he actually gets the opportunity from to visit the Willy Wonka factory. So there was 5 tickets that were like spread apart in like the chocolate bars, and you know, if you've heard about it or know about like pop culture, you kind of know where the 5 golden tickets, the kids get to go to the factory and so on. So I don't want to spoil the story if you haven't seen the movie yet, but definitely check out Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Thank you, Benjamin. Yeah, that's a great movie, and I actually watched when I was a kid. And I got so anxious because I just want to drink all the little rivers of chocolate, you know, because there's so much chocolate. I just want to jump into it, swim, and drink everything. And yeah. So, well, guys, it's the time of the day to say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this show. I'm pretty sure you're hungry by now, and I'm pretty sure that you definitely gonna want to eat some chocolate today, and probably tomorrow and after tomorrow. And thank you so much for watching us, and stick to the end because we have the funny meme or the video of the week. Thank you again, and I see you next week.
Thank you so much. Also, don't forget to send us your opinions and topics that you would like to discuss. Please visit the Tejas Chocolate and Barbecue store, and we'll see you next time on the Student Lounge.